Greetings viewers, this is Montar Maverick coming at you with another review video. Today we'll be reviewing the 1/144 scale, real grade, full armor Unicorn Gundam. Now there's not much difference between this and the other real grade Unicorn Gundam kits. The only two big obvious differences, of course, is this is the full armor version and this is the Awakening version. Awakening is basically the green light or green inner frame compared to the normal pink inner frame or pink lights of the Unicorn Gundam. I personally want to add that this is the only version of the Unicorn Gundam that I have that is both the fully armored and the Awakening form. A brief history of the Unicorn Gundam. The Unicorn Gundam was actually, you can say, a secret weapon during a war. In Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, which is still on Netflix last I checked, I do highly recommend it for those who have not yet seen it. It was a Gundam developed by the Anaheim Electronics for the Earth Federation. It was a concealed secret as almost like a last resort, or more so of a weapon used by a proper pilot. Not anyone could pilot this Gundam. Eventually it was piloted by Banaja Lynx, who is the son of the, I'm actually reading this off, so please excuse me, the head of the Vis Foundation, Cardias Vis, and he entrusted the Gundam to his son for the third Neo-Zeon War in UC0096. He believed that his son, Banaja, was the only proper pilot for this Gundam and in order to end the war. The Unicorn Gundam is actually one of those very few Gundams that can actually transform. Most other Gundams in the series transform into certain vehicles. The Wing Gundam or Wing Zero from Gundam Wing transform into like a bird-like, I would say plane-like mode. Whereas this one, it just really changes the outside features of the Gundam. It's still a humanoid vehicle regardless, it's just a little bit taller, a little bit bulkier. That's all it really is, compared to a vehicle separate form. In order for the Unicorn Gundam to transform, it needs to be activated by the Gundam's NTD system. And that's only activated whenever the pilot is in, I would say, in a time of stress, or really needs that extra push, so to speak. It's almost similar to the the Zero system in Wing Gundam, or Gundam Wing, for the Wing Zero mobile suit in the series. Hiro Yuri used the Zero system to properly control and pilot the Wing Zero Gundam, and Ketro Baba Winner understood that system as well. But that's Gundam Wing. This is Gundam Unicorn. But in any case, the NTD system, or the Unicorn Gundam entirely, is all piloted by really the pilot's thoughts, not just by the pilot's controls. And therefore, the pilot has a much better grasp on the situation, and by their thoughts alone, help the Unicorn move properly. And in its destroy mode, there we go, it has more thrusters, much more mobility, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. Similar to G Gundam's Super or Hyper mode from the Shining and Burning Gundam, respectively. But that's enough of the background. I'll definitely touch base more of that for future videos, because this is not my only Unicorn kit. But that's for the future. For right now, let's discuss about the box. Now, most real grade boxes, it's pretty standard. You have the mobile suit head to the left and the full body portrait on the right. Most real grade boxes are like this, so to get a closer look, here we have the Unicorn Gundam, fully stand with all of his armaments, twin bazookas, Gatling guns, 3 shields, some missile pods on his legs, and I would say those are back thrusters. I need to double check on that real quick. But yes, it's fully armored. Personally, I wasn't going to get this kit at first because I was never a fan of the fully armored. It was mostly for display purposes. because positioning this can be quite difficult with all of the extra armaments on top of the kit. But I only got this one because as I said before, I don't have a full armor version and I do not have an awakening version. And it was never really specified in the series as to why, if the awakening version, the green lights were better than the pink lights for the destroy mode. I wasn't really, I did not really understand what that really meant. Yeah, but I guess the green cycle frame is better than the pink one. But in any case, so if you look on the bottom, and unfortunately, during moving, the box got a little bit bent. But as you can see here, you see the green inner frame. And the most real grade kits, you actually start off with the inner frame, which is pretty cool. I do like that they prefer if you build an inner frame. And all these are almost like a solid piece. You just need to cut them off of the runners and bend them properly so you can add the extra armor pieces attached to it. But this is the 1/44 scale. As you can see here, you see all of the weapons, the Gatling guns, the bazookas, a axe spear combination weapon, the beam rifle, missile pods on the bottom, and I can't tell what these are on right here. But in any case, and it also shows you different features. The shield, how they attach to the Gatling guns, transformed and non-transformed for destroy mode. Decals here, and all the runners, it comes with the kit. So that's front. And here you have some action poses. I will highly suggest if you have this kit or thinking about getting it, the best way for these poses, get an action base. I highly recommend that. No glue needed. No kids under the age of 3 should build this kit. Actually, rephrase that. Do not have this around kids under the age of 3 years old, and make sure that you are ages of 15 and up to build this kit. And that's about it for the box. And here we have the decals. I don't normally put the decals on kits. I did a long time ago, and I just was never a fan of it since. And here are some extra stickers. Some you need, some are not. And here we have the instruction manual. And by far, this is by far one of the most beefiest manuals for real grade I have. Here are all the runners, including it. Starts off with the legs, of course, as always. The waist, basically building from the bottom up. Torso and chest. The arms. The head, the shoulders and the head. Backpack and the transformation. And after the transformation, you have all of its weapons. The iconic beam magnum on top here. The hyper beam javelin, that's what it was called. That spear and axe combination weapon, the hyper beam javelin. Beam sabers. Triple hand grenades. I thought they were missile pods, but nope, hand grenades. And the triple hand grenades bazooka. Some missile launchers, grenade launchers, hyper bazookas, the beam Gatling guns, and of course the shields. And it shows you on the bottom here how to properly store them on the kit. And the thrusters. Those giant thrusters on the bottom, attached to the backpack. And it also shows you how to probably attach them. And gives you an idea of where certain of the labels should go. And how it's supposed to look in the destroy mode and unicorn mode. And here we go for the instruction manual, and that's enough with the box and instruction manual. Let's get on to the kit. And here we have the real grade, fully armored Unicorn Gundam. And I was trying to place this on my turntable, but because of the thruster sticking out in the back, I am unable to do so. So this may not have the turntable in this video, but we shall see. But in any case, it is fully armored, and for first lights, I do like the fact like the Unicorn Gundam is definitely one of my favorite Gundams and the entire series of Gundam entirely. But at the same time though, I'm just not a big fan of the bulk. I mean, I understand why. I completely understand whether it was just because it was in the show or just for aesthetic display purposes, but it definitely is limited. I would say just because of that bulk. And let me just give you a good idea of just how far these thrusters stick out. And of course, some pieces tend to fall off too. I'll just place that to the side for now. But yeah, it's sticking out quite a lot. And if the thrusters were not there, this kit would never be top heavy. So it will fall off quite easily. But other than that, I cannot deny the fact that for display wise, it does look pretty badass. It does look pretty menacing. So I do enjoy that. And while building this kit, I did decide to do some panel lining, especially the fact that this is a white kit. In case you have any white Gundam kits, which majority of them are, panel lining just looks great on them. Black walls look good. Try with a gray, that way this doesn't look too dark, but definitely a plus in my opinion. For those of you who have not seen my real grade Unicorn Gundam Banshee video, I showed on that video the articulation along with the transformation, but in order for me to do so probably for this kit, I decided to take all the extra ornaments off just so I can probably show you all. So just like the Banshee, articulation in the head goes all around. The arms do go all the way, but be careful because the shoulder piece could just come off like that. Goes side, goes all the way up, elbow joint. The wrist has a nice swivel, and of course even the armor has a nice swivel as well. Nope, not going to transform it just yet. The waist does go all the way around. Leg all the way forward, all the way back. Can it do the split? Yes, it can. And knee joint all the way up, all the way around. I think that's a pretty good, almost a 180 on that one. Foot can go forward just slightly, goes back, swivel side to side, and you can rotate it as well. Okay. Alright. And that's all for articulation. Now for the transformation, and how I found that from the Banshee video. Easier, just take the head off. For the torso, you just split it open like so. Take these pieces. If you have a fingernail, great. If not, you can use a toothpick. Move them up. Position these down like so. Take this slap on the back, move it outward so you can extend the body, and then you place it back down. For the arms, you take this piece off just slightly. You move this up and extend the form, and you put this piece back down. And for the shoulders, you just move this piece. If you get a fingernail, great. You move it out, it's showing a shoulder vent. Place it like so. Just like it, move that out of the way. For the legs, you move this piece out just a little bit, extend it, then you close it. And then you take that piece and this piece that's on the ankle, pull it out just a little bit, then you push these back in. And for the knee joint, just like the Banshee, you move this out and try not to, sometimes these pieces could come off, but it just tends to happen due to the transformation. Put it back on, position it like so, and with these thrusters, what you gotta do is you gotta position them downward, and if you can, the mechanism will work, and these green second frame part will actually come out like so. Then you just position them like that. And for the foot, you move the heel out like so. Position the foot like that. And those pieces would just be easily just take off. Then you position this piece like so. Move these upward. And then you can take these pieces you take off on the ankle. Yeah, there we go. Hang on. And you position them differently. So, here for unicorn mode, here for destroy mode. I'll do the other side in a minute. Okay, you can just stay off. And for side skirts, there you go. You extend that. You position the front skirts like so. Move this outward, move this upward, without trying to close it. And the back, extend these, and you get the two new thrusters. Move that to the side, and for the head, it's easy if you just take these side pieces off, which I found out from the Banshee video. You extend these to the side, these side head flaps. You can either rotate it as is, or you can take off the head. And you rotate to see the standard Gundam face feature. Close these up. And you're going to rotate the face plates around like so. Same as the other side. If I can get this to stick, there we go. And of course, you can split the unicorn horn sideways to have the standard Gundam V-fin. In case you don't have the split horn, this kit comes with a regular unicorn horn, like so. And the Gundam V-fin. So you can just interchange these out as you please. And that's about it for the transformation. Oops. And here we have the unicorn fully transformed. I'm still questioning to this very day, and some of you may have the same question in mind. Which cycle frame looks better, the green or the pink? Please comment down below what you think. Yeah, that rhymes. In any case, so yes, this is fully transformed, and I do like the sleekness. I always enjoy the way how the Unicorn Gundam looks in this destroy mode. Without all the extra armaments attached, I just think it's just very sleek, especially the green. The green does match well with the white, and actually kind of makes me think about Christmas a little bit. But that's just me. I don't know if everyone else feels the same way. But yes, I definitely do like the way how the green works well with the white in this case. But this is just the destroy mode. Let's see what it looks like with all the ornaments attached. And here is the Unicorn Gundam in destroy mode with all of its armaments attached. And I can honestly say the armaments look a lot better when the Unicorn is in its destroy mode than in its Unicorn mode. With that being said, I still feel the same as I did before. It's definitely still bulky. As I'm trying to display this, it was kind of difficult to get it in a proper pose without anything falling off. But at the same time, though, I gotta give it credit. I only had a few pieces fall off. I actually thought it'd be a lot more. So I am thankful for that. And just like how it was in Unicorn mode, my turntable is definitely too small for this kit. But they'll just give you a side view. Here we go. And one thing that it says in the instructions is that for these thrusters, I'm going to be very careful. For Unicorn mode, these are actually positioned differently. You can see here is actually angled just because the Unicorn Gundam is a little bit shorter, just slightly. But for its destroy mode, you just need to maneuver it like so. So that way it's a much better balance. And just a back view of it. You have the third shield attached right there. And I believe that for some kits, I believe it's the perfect grade. I'm not so sure about the master grade, but I know the master grade version KA, you can actually display the shields in its 3 shield configuration, how it was displayed or how it was shown in the last episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. Spoiler alert, sorry. But it's been around for a few years now, so if you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. Definitely is another favorite of my modern day Gundam shows. But yes, here is the Unicorn Gundam fully. And I will add that posing this can be quite difficult with all of its equipment and armaments attached. I'll see what I can do. Now for some size comparisons. Here's Unicorn Gundam with his counterpart, Unicorn Gundam 03, the Phoenix. This is the high grade. And aside from this ornaments and the armor pieces for the Phoenix, looks like the Unicorn Gundam is actually slightly taller than this one. I actually thought it would be the same size because both of these are 1/144. Just one is a real grade, one is a high grade. But still, very nice. And here is the Gundam with the Zoi's gun sniper. I figured this was very poetic just because the gun sniper has some extra weapons itself. So yeah, Unicorn is definitely taller in this. In terms of width though, it all depends on how you distribute the arms for the Unicorn Gundam here. But in any case, the Kyubi gun sniper is just a little bit wider. So, and here is with the real grade new Gundam. And I always, and even for the master grades, the new Gundam is definitely a little bit taller. Yep, without his ornaments, you can definitely tell that the new Gundam is just slightly taller than the Unicorn Gundam, which I think it is to be expected though. I'm not familiar with the specs of how big the Unicorn Gundam in reality compared to the new Gundam, but in this case, yep, real grade new Gundam is definitely slightly taller. And here he is with Master Grade Barbatos. And because it's a Master Grade, it is to be expected that the Master Grades are definitely bigger and taller than the real grade or even a high grade for that matter. Just give you a rough idea. And lastly, here's with its counterpart, Unicorn Gundam Banshee. Now, aside from the sculpt itself, I believe these two are roughly the same height, but in terms of armaments, naturally, this one's a lot more due to the bazookas towering over the Banshee. And that's it for comparisons. I want to take a brief moment just to discuss one of the weapons that belong to this kit, and that is the Hyper Beam Javelin. It's actually attached to this part, so I'm just going to take that off. Take the shield off, if I can. There we go. And if I can take this, there we go, and there's the cannons. Alright, now this piece I really like because it actually comes in various configurations you can do. You can actually rotate this, and actually separate this. You can take this piece off, wiggle it out, place it there, like so. Take this off as well. And one thing that this also has like its own transformation as well, not just what I just showed you, but if you extend this, you see a green psycho frame or inner frame here, along with if you extend this, also a green inner frame. And this comes with the fed parts. Just take this here, place it like so. And another one for the spear, or javelin really. And there you go. And they have many different ways to actually position this. It's just one of the views, or one of the ways you can. But you can also take this part here, which is the handle, and place it however you want, whether it be here, in the middle like so. Various parts, various ways. And to show you, in the instruction manual actually shows you just a few ways how to do this. What I just showed you, and this piece actually supposed to be the end of the axe. But yes, same thing with this as well. You can actually have this attached to the beam rifle as well. So yes, many different possibilities with the Hyper Beam Javelin. Just to show you a few ways to do so. That's about it. So I just want to show you all that I try my very best to display this, and just looking at it, maybe a 1/100 action base may be better, but I will say this was kind of finicky to actually be placed on the action base. Even the thrusters on the back did fall off a couple times, so as I was displaying this, but it is possible, but don't expect this to be in various poses. If you have the patience for it, then yeah, maybe you can get this in a proper pose. But I did the best I could for this one. Maybe if I were to tinker it with a few more minutes, maybe I can get into a much better pose. But it's not really that much surprising. I mean, with all of his extra ornaments attached and whatnot, the range of motion definitely is somewhat limited. And right before I recorded this, actually, the javelin on his left hand, it was going strong. I thought the joint would not give out, but the last second, as soon as I hit record, it actually did fall through. So I guess that's just a test of time that the joints do get a little bit weaker. It is unfortunate. I was hoping to keep it strong, but it is what it is, I suppose. And as this is rotating, I do want to show you all that it does come with other added accessories. Beam sabers, just like any other kit will have. You get 2 of them. You also get different hands, so that way you can hold the weapons or different manipulators. You have the closed fist, along with the open hands or jazz hands. You have a tiny figurine of Bonanger. I did show you about the V-fin and extra unicorn, the horn that you get, and it does come with extra attachments, just for how the shields and weapons should be placed, especially the shield on its backpack. And just get some extra parts that you probably don't even need. But that's all for all the extra items belonging to the fully assaulted Unicorn Gundam. Now I'm going to take the time to say all the pros, cons, and everything else in between. The good, obviously this is a good kit in terms of the build. The build was actually easy, very easy to put together. I didn't use a glue once, so it's a plus. Most of these kits you don't need to use glue. Some people use glue so that way some pieces has a much better range of motion if it's too loose, or if some pieces would fall off easily, then use glue just to make things easier. But other than that, it was an easy build. I'm thankful for that. The color scheme do work well. Panel lining, which is to me is a pro because I tend to do a lot of panel lining for most of my kits. I do enjoy. So in this kit, because it's white, has a lot of panel lining and it does stick out, especially the thrusters, which you can tell just how easily it was for me to line those up. The armament attachments, I say this is a pro because from how it was in the show, it does look well, and the color scheme that has is not really black, it's more like a gunmetal, even like with a gray. It works well with the kit as well as a whole, so I am thankful for that. Now for the cons, and there is quite a few, and I know I did mention 1 or 2 during the review, is that this is pretty bulky for its size. Some range of motion is a bit difficult, not saying it's impossible, it just is really difficult. Some things such as can it fall off quite easily, the thrusters came off several times. Some pieces tend to come off, but that's only due to the transformation. So that's just watchful, just that bulkiness that that's limited is range of motion, is articulation. If you don't have the armaments, then yes, it's a fully fledged movable figure, so that's a plus. But with the armaments, it's only for display piece, nothing more. My personal opinion. Now I said this briefly. Yes, some parts do fall off. The transformation I can forgive, but some parts of the armaments attachments, all the weapons and all the equipment do fall off. The thrusters came off several times. The bazooka grenade launcher piece tends to come off all the time. And the funny thing is, it's only on one of these that come off. The other one is actually stayed there pretty well. So I find that kind of funny. Another thing that's also weak that I did mention when I had this on the action base is that the strength of certain joints aren't as strong. And I don't know whether because this kit I have for about a few years now, compared to how it was when I first got it. I can't say for sure. If you have this kit, please comment below if by any chance of your joints are pretty weak, the kits. So yeah, please put in the comment section if your joints are a bit weak, or it's just a test of time. Now, with all that being said, is this a kit worth getting? I'll let you decide on that, only because personally it's not one of my favorites, only because of the articulation. As display, yes, this looks great. If you're not planning on moving it and just keep it on display on your shelf, yeah, this is a great kit. But if you're planning on positioning it in different poses as time goes on, just be watchful. Pieces will fall off, and if you're lucky, you won't be missing. You won't be missing any pieces. So that's one thing to consider. I highly recommend this won't be your first kit if you are getting into Gunpla. But yeah, so I'll let that's completely your decision to come up, whether this is a kit that you want or not. Now, with all that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. It was fun recording it, I'll say that much, and this is one kit I've been wanting to review for a while now, just because, and not just is the unicorn, but just the fact that it has all those full armor pieces attachments, so I am thankful for that. If you haven't done so, please like, share, subscribe. There's more videos to come. I will post this more frequently, so there won't be any big breaks in between, but fingers crossed. But yes, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this with people who are into Gunpla, maybe share it to people who may be interested in not just Gunpla but Zords. I do have a few videos of those as well. I have some videos displayed here, so be sure to watch this one. I believe YouTube decided to pick up for you, and this one here is the Unicorn Banshee. So thank you again. Until next time, keep on building.